Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to my stream. Okay, the music's bops, man. This new playlist pretty freaking good. Hi everyone, welcome back to Storytime. Writing stream. How's everyone doing? Ohayo gozaimasu, Karon. Nice to see you back. It is a wonderful, not too hot day today. The past few months it has been really hot, and today it's been cool enough that I don't have to turn on the AC. So if you hear like my fan spinning in the background, forgive me, I'm trying to save money. Hi Illuminubi. Your chat wouldn't load for a good 20 seconds. Oh yeah, YouTube's having some problems, man. I don't really know what to do about it. It's way out of my ability. But I'm glad it loaded again, because YouTube's not great. All right, let's get straight into it. Last we left off, I had created like a empty space here where I wanted to do add in more like world building, and off stream I added a paragraph for world building. I kind of expanded the world of this story to be more reliant on the fandom power, #fan power, you know, and it created this like world where technology is required. Fan power is required for some basic technology like phones and stuff. So I think it's quite a interesting dynamic. I won't explore it too far into the story because I think it's one of those things nicer to imagine than it is to explore. Real Shoe's doing the fasting. Yes, Real Shoe stole the broom. I've been looking for a lot of little like knickknacks that I can use for props for Real Shoe, and it's just my room is slowly. I have a small little corner in my room where it's like slowly filling up with junk that I think I can put Real Shoe on, and it might become a problem in the future, to be honest. Yeah. Just character biographies? What about what? I'm not really sure what that means, but yeah, I'll continue on. Last time we met the boss. We named what the usher named Thomas got pushed off to do a break by the boss, the organizer, who is standing guard at the gate where you, our protagonist, is waiting to walk in. Right, that's where I left off. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure how to proceed from here to the next point of the story, because alright, I have a character who I'm gonna name Toru Nagaishi, based on like, did I use American Organized? Ah, shit. I'm so sorry. Shame on me. I use American spelling Organized. Toru Hirayama and Takao Nagaishi are like very important people within like the Kamen Rider creation, so I want to name a character after them. So Toru Nagaishi. So the plot for this is that your character is gonna go inside the convention and run into a cosplayer who's hiding his face, and then they would like bump shoulder, an accident happens, and it's revealed that it's Toru Nagaishi, and then they'll have like a conversation to do some exposition storytelling. So that's where I want to get to. Now, how do I get there? That's the question, right? I also needed to introduce the organizer, the boss of the convention, for a small review in the third act. So that's the plan. How do I get there? That's what we'll be writing today, I think. Aaron, just gonna add for a Lei Heng cosplay almost a year after I cosplayed Lei Heng for Halloween. Do you have pictures of you cosplaying? I recently went to my friend's wedding, and it was a Harry Potter themed wedding. So, well, now you know my feelings on Harry Potter now, if you watch my channel. So I decided to go as a hobbit for fun, as a smart casual hobbit. So I went as Samwise Gamgee. I even got my tiny little sting sword as a keychain. It was still a formal occasion, so I couldn't really, I can't go in without shoes, you know, that kind of thing. But it was still quite fun. We should have pictures coming out soon. Once I get the picture, I'll show it on my social media. Yeah, cosplaying is fun. All right, so we run into the organizer. I don't really know how to naturally transition into it. My gut instinct, if I was a character, because this is second person writing, right? If I was a character, I would want to, if I was doing this part, I would be awkwardly standing outside and waiting and not talking to the usher who is currently the organizer, that is like managing the crowd at the door. But sometimes I will just talk to them if I find something weird to say. It has to be something weird. It can't be something normal. But that's a me thing. That's how I want to like transition to the next area. Question is, how do I write that? All right. Aaron, I think I do have one image of me in cosplay and posing. I think the Tian Tui Star blade I crafted broke though. Oh, that's too bad. Did you hand make that? That would be really cool, by the way. It's really cool, the craftsmanship. It's very hard to craft cosplay stuff in Singapore because our space is so limited. We can't really like put up workbenches and stuff. I was looking into getting a workbench for myself, and I wanted to put it like in the common area outside our apartment, but you're not allowed to have stuff in the common areas, which is really sad because it's a really large area. Oh no, chat says chat disconnected. Please wait while we yeah, so I got disconnected from chat now. That's YouTube, curse you, man. YouTube. Maybe I need to turn on some of my other stuff that is like taking up bandwidth. Let me just close off my Discord, close off my chat. Okay. Handmade from poster pin and multiple illustration boards. Took I think 2 days to craft. That's really cool, man. I have a lot of like cosplay ideas that I could never do because I don't have like the space in my tiny ass room to like keep all the material. Let's see. Organizer. You know what? Let's play into the organizers, right? Stand there. And then shifting your weight on your feet. On your feet. Slowly getting into a little dance. A little imperceptive is that the word? Barely noticeable imperceptible dance. Imperceptible dance. That's not a word. It feels like it should be a word. Oh, that's misspelled. I did misspell it. You stand shifting your feet slowly doing a little imperceptible dance. You exchange awkward glances with the organizer while you wait for the convention to ease up in numbers to allow you entry. Woo! Okay, that's good. That's good. You get a little character work, a little awkwardness, and then it just fits. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. So we'll have a tiny time jump, something like it'll be quick. Let's tear this out like a plaster, right? Because this is a unimportant aspect. You don't really need the organizer to talk, because he's not like a talking character. He's more like a character for a flag. Something happens later, right? So it's okay for him to not talk. Right, because I kept thinking, I have to get him to talk, and now I'm realizing I don't have to get him to talk, right? That's how writing works. All right. Oh, speaking of writing, I am writing my next books now, which will be available on my Patreon soon. In chapter format, so I'll be serializing them on my Patreon chapter by chapter. Let me see if I can bring it up. See? Alright, so this is what I'm currently working on. This is the new chapters, chapter 1 for my new book. They will be releasing, it's 2 books technically. They will be releasing back to back, chapter to chapter. It will be on my Patreon. If you're a member, you'll get them free, I think like 2 weeks early access. And then after that, it will be free for everybody. So if you want to read this, you can go to my Patreon, just follow. I think you can follow for free just to get updates, and then you can read it for free when it comes out. Right? That's my news. That's my writing news. Let me go back to the normal stream. All right. Has chat been reconnected? Because the YouTube did disconnect me for a while. I don't know if that has any problems with the chat for stuff. So do speak. Otherwise, I'll just talk to myself, and it'll be sad. It'll be sad, but it'll still be a stream. Right. In going to this. I don't know. That's because there's no. Oh, okay. Cat came out. Okay, so overlay for the streams. I am working on them. I'm not an animator. I know how to animate, but it's not like my main thing. So it's taking a bit of time. I want to do some overlay for like the bottom of the stream, where there's like words gonna be, because right now there's just a black bar, and I want something to go underneath here. And I guess I can do like a chat overlay. I don't know how to do the chat overlay yet, so I'll figure that out, and then I'll add it in. Give me some time, because streaming is not really like the main thing I'm doing on this channel as well. So yeah, I'm working on a new video. It is about writing. It's an investigative video essay / documentary about the writing mafia. Ooh, yeah. It got really big, by the way. I was planning to release it like in 2 weeks, but it's so big now, I don't know if I can make that timetable. I think it will have to come out by the end of August at this rate. I'll try to get it out quicker, Karan, personally, you use Stream Elements because honestly, it's good enough for what I do. I'll check that out. Sounds good. I have a friend that does streaming as well, so I might ask her for advice on this. But I want to kind of keep my stream this like low-key thing. I think it's an aesthetic for me. I just kind of like it. Right. Oh, also, speaking of, hi T Edic. Welcome, joining the stream. Is the Real Shoe Plus from Nimbus Company streaming writing? Real Shoe is my boss. She just looks at me menacingly, and if I'm not doing a good job, she hits me with a stick. So yeah, that's a job right now. Channel mascot and my boss. She has that violent look in her eyes, but I guess that's just default for Ryoshu. Yeah, Ryoshu looks at everyone menacingly. That's a default state. Oh yeah, I was talking about this. So I was thinking about genre for this short story that we're writing, right? And because this is not a new genre, but I couldn't think of like what it would be called, and I decided to call it fandom punk. This is not a new genre because last year we had K-pop Demon Hunter, which also has this, you know, fan power kind of thing going on. And yeah, I feel like fandom punk is a good name for this genre. So somebody write me up on Wikipedia as coining the term, please. I can talk a little bit about punk as a genre before we get to the next segment, and while my brain continues to buffer on how to write this next segment. Punk as a genre is quite interesting. Wait, let me read the chat. Karan says the grayscale squad is so back. I love grayscale. Alright. Minimum colors. I like having at least just like 4 colors on the screen at once. That's my sweet spot. Not too much colors. Sadness is great. No sense. Alright, punk. Right, so recently I played Cyberpunk 2077 because they've just finished updating it, so I can finally play it, like the whole thing without pause. It got me to thinking about like the punk genre, so I felt fandom punk is a good genre for this short story. Punk as a genre is people think like cyberpunk is like the aesthetic. No, cyber is the aesthetic. Cyber is the aesthetic of Cyberpunk 2077. Punk is the genre. Cyber is the setting. I always like to split setting and genre. So like you can have like fantasy genre, fantasy setting, and say adventure genre. So genre is what the story is doing, and setting is what the world and story is like. So a punk genre is any kind of story that is anti-establishment, right? Which is why it's always a bit weird when rich people always love punk genres. Why? You're the establishment. But anyway, yeah, so this story is a punk genre. It's anti-establishment story. It doesn't have to be like anti, say, capitalist establishment or political establishment. It can be anti whatever establishment the world is at the time, and that whatever the establishment is, the establishment must be bad for the world. So that's how punk genre works, right? And your characters, your main character, your storytelling is anti whatever that establishment. I think that's why a lot of fashy people like to, you know, co-opt this genre. I don't know if you heard of a person named Ben Shapiro. He wrote a book that's like anti-establishment, but the establishment is filled with socialists and communists. That's also punk, but it's like kind of a really fictional punk, really bad punk, right? So fandom punk would be the genre is like this fandom powered based society, which is kind of dystopian, kind of bad, and that's the punk part. You saw the Ben Shapiro versus Natsuki rap battle video. I didn't see that. What the hell is that? Hi Boka, what did you just stumble on? Oh, that's a Yuri PFP. Okay, you just stumbled onto, I don't know what you stumbled onto. It's a writing stream. We write a short story on stream with chat participation while I talk about media literacy with a Ryoshu mascot because it's funny, and yeah, and we were talking about the punk genre just now. So feel free to stay if you want. Cozy talking shit. Yeah, just doing stuff. If you guys I think I have written the description properly now in like the description of the video. If you guys add anything to the story and I end up using it, you will get assistant writing credits. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Non-related writing stream filled with PF fans for some reason. Yes, I don't know why it's filled with PF fans. I think it's just a me problem now. What if Purgatorio starts with Karen finally receiving a map from you? No, then we won't have to wait so long for each canto because we'll finally get to our destination. Yeah. Alright, let me see. You stand shifting your feet, slowly doing a little imperceptible dance. You exchange glances with the organizer while you wait for the convention to ease up in numbers to allow you to entry. To allow you to entry? No, to allow you. That's correct. I want to just skip this part because it's very hard to do a waiting scene. So, say a few minutes later. Minutes later, the organizer checks his. Okay, so I talked about this in this paragraph, right? Where we have characters using different fandom text to do communication. And our main character uses the communicator watches, the Power Ranger communicator watches to be specific in my headcanon, right? To communicate. So I want this organizer to also use a fan communication item. So what is a good fan? I'm so into the communicator watches from like Power Rangers. I'm thinking like Star Trek-y guys have like but those are just phones, right? Those are kind of. I want something really out there, something like, let's see. Let me see chat. Nothing about communicator watch. It's about Aaron learns how to read the map. Okay, sure. Oh, a map. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, my brain is doing a thing. You know how like in Harry Potter you have that map, the Marauders map. Why if he just I still hate J.K. Rowling. I just want everyone to be sure. Story, I can still use elements from it, right? So I want the organizer to check. The organizer is older, so now pulls out a paper map. You glance over and see icons, little character icons moving live on the map. I will use a different word for this later, but I will need a thesaurus for it. I don't want to double dip on the map. Let's see. What's a good? None of this fits nicely, so I will find a different word, a synonym for it later. Little icons moving live on the map. Does the organizer support Harry Potter? No. I will make this a non-Harry Potter based map. Just to check it out. You recognize the map from. I want an Indiana Jones-ish name. Something from Temple of Skulls, where the character uses the magic map to communicate with others on it. Yeah. Illuminati says Irvin James from Temple Run. Oh. Wait, is that a real name from Temple Run? Because I know Temple Run's a game. I can't use some copyrighted shit. Is the organizer from Folk Valley? What's Folk Valley? Do I Google this? If I Google this, will I get weird stuff? Please don't be pawn. Please don't be pawn. Please don't be pawn. It is not pawn. Folk Valley is a TikTok trend about weird behavior videos? Okay. Don't make me regret this. Folk fandom. Okay, this is another thing. What is this Folk Valley thing? Is a world building / writing project. Ooh, okay. I'm going to put this aside for later. The only Temple character name I can remember is Guy Danger, or whatever the default guy's name is. Shout out to Gold. What do you mean I don't know? I'm sorry, I have too many fandoms, okay? I can only handle so much information in my brain. Is it like Night Vale? I know Night Vale, but that's because I'm a Tumblr boy. Not because I actually listen to Night Vale. Okay. Let me see. I want to finish writing this paragraph. Icon. An icon with the name Thomas Messier. Thomas Messier? Thomas Messier? Oh, fine, that's the name, I guess. Thomas Messier. Yeah. Pops out a speech bubble that says let next group in pause. Next group in pause. Alright, that's good. Oh, I shook the camera on, bro. Shoot. Hang on. I want to give credit for this because Caron did say a map, how to read a map. That did get me the idea. So let's see. Caron, Scarlet, yay! Get an assistant write the credit to the map idea. Even though it wasn't submitted as an idea, I'll take it because I don't want to just take other people's idea like this. Whoa. I'm an unk at best. I'm an unk. God damn it, I am unk. I don't like being an unk. It makes me feel, I don't know, some kind of ways. Hope Valley is like the Ohio meme just in 2026. You're gonna be mad at this. I don't know what the Ohio meme is. Yeah, Carol's famous. Yay. Yep, anyone who contributes, even by accident, will get a credit. Yeah. Okay, I feel like this is good. Nick, the organizer. Oh, I almost used the American spelling again. It's just really, the Z is just in a really nice place. For that. I honestly type in American and UK spelling kind of interchangeably. I don't know why, because I was raised in UK spelling, but I think it's because I read a lot of American stuff and my brain just kind of says both language is okay. Like, it's very interchangeable for me. Anyone who edits my story gets very annoyed because I keep shifting between the spelling sometimes. I try not to, but personally it's a quirk. And the organizer with a smile open gestured into the convention. Gestured you into the. I was gonna do like the thing where he opens up like the fence, the string fencing area thing, but then I realized I didn't introduce the string fencing area and I got a bit lazy to rewrite it. And besides, this gives it a more indie feel, I think. Yeah, alongside the next dozen people. It's dozen people seems fine. And you walked in with a nod of thanks. Ta-da! We're finally in the convention area, around 1,000 words. Let's see. Welcome, Captain Bonbon Elcop. Oh my god, there's another. Why is this always a PM stream? Is it because I put Real Shoe on like the thumbnail? It usually turns out as a PM stream anyway. I'm fine with it. I feel like people who watch this stream and is also a fan of Project Moon stuff, literacy level is quite high. I'm quite proud of that. Thank you for being well read. Reflection Railway 2 Bogart. Anyone? How is your runs, by the way? I remember playing RR2. I came in to Limbus Company like midway through season 1. So I didn't have enough time to finish RR1 properly back then. So that was the only Reflection Railway where I did not like clear 100%. RR2 was the first one I cleared, and it's like the super endurance railway. And I'll be honest, I was completely fine with it. It wasn't really that hard for me. I won't be playing on stream because, as Illuminubi can attest, I have very, very bad brain cells when I'm on stream. I play like crap. Roka, you just opened YouTube and saw this. Wow, so YouTube actually randomly shares my video. I mean, that's great. I wish they shared more, but Luminaby, I got 93 turns, a massive improvement from the 133 I got when it first released. I got into the double digit when it first released, I think. I'm not sure, I have to check, but yeah. Aaron Scholar, I'm still pissed at KGH for locking line 1 Bokat behind Kanto 8 and line 5 in Kanto 7. You retired before finishing, so it was off. Play R2 Bokat and streams how people sleep. Yeah, I don't think people will want to even watch the stream at that rate. Yeah, I mean, like, I get why he would lock it behind Kantos, because there is like a level scaling for the thing. You don't want people who are too inexperienced going into a Reflection Railway, which is considered like end game content, and you know, they will suddenly like, oh, why is this game suddenly so hard, that kind of thing. I think that was like one of the problems with the early Reflection Railway, was that a lot of new players were complaining about the difficulty of some of the non-level restricted game section, and they had to like down the difficulty a bit. So I kind of get it. I feel like with a smile part needs some work. I'd probably change it to smiling gently or something like that. Oh, finally a writing thing. The organizer with a smile, because there's a comma, right? It breaks. Yes, that's a good. Because the gesture is a different part. How do I rewrite this without the commas? I think gestured you into the conventions, and okay, I want the smile to come in earlier so that it's like, imagine the scene where you are the character standing there, and the immediate things that you want to notice is not him gesturing, but it's the smile. So, but I get why you want to change it, because the right like syntax for this is this, but the comma does break reading flow. Maybe I can just go like gesture you into the comma, with a smile alongside the next dozen people, comma, and you walked in with an odd thanks. Okay, smoother, as smooth as my brain smooth, no IQ. Let's see. Thank you, T-Edit, for the advice. Karen Scholar, I just want to play real way as someone who does more mirror dungeons. Sorry. Yeah, I think people does more mirror dungeons. I do more mirror dungeons more, right? But story is just I think the story is, you know, like each canto come out and people just enjoy the entire story. I do really like the story though. If it's just the story, I'll play the whole game. And mirror dungeon syndrome. I just need a description of some kind. I don't think you need a description for the whole thing, because you want to think of it this way. I think I talked about this before slightly in the previous stream, is that you don't want to over describe something. You have certain actions that, unless it's key to a characterization of character, you don't want to describe, like say he smiles dimply, where it's like, oh, so this character has a dimple. But the organizer isn't like a main character, he's just a supporting character. So you can kind of just let the reader create the smile in their head. So everyone has like kind of a default smile for a default person. So we have a OD character with a OD way of with their OD communicator maps, and you kind of have like an old person smile, and everyone has an old person smile in their head differently. So you don't have to give full details. The best example I can give for this is like, don't describe amount of things in exact details if you want it to seem large, or you know, you don't want you want to make it something that seems like a person cannot properly detail it in like a Wikipedia entry, right? So a crowd size, there's a lot of people, there's thousands of hundreds of, no, you just say there's a lot of people, and then you kind of fill in the blanks of how much is a lot of people. That's the advice I would give for when doing these kind of things. Illuminate me, maybe put smiling gently as a starting word, then put a comma and continue the rest of the sentence. That is not bad. Yes. Smiling gently. The organizer just showed you into the convention. Alongside the next dozen people. This is why we have editors. Because you sometimes get so stuck on a syntax that you just forget how to word. I feel like smile is better than just smile. Maybe this is because I'm primarily a poetry reader, but I just personally gravitate to a more flowery prose. I understand that, the flowery prose things. I'm currently working on a script for my channel video, my main video stuff on my channel. It has really flowery prose. I have an entire section where I do an accent. I'll be doing a very bad accent, but the flowery prose things used for poetry works because poetry is short and you need a lot more information in a very short amount of time. But even then, you kind of have you kind of use ambience to create a lot of stuff. So for example, if you write a poem about spring, you don't always say like you kind of want to focus on the details that the character is absorbing, but not the general like atmosphere. The atmosphere is gonna be expounded by the details. So say it's spring, there's flowers blooming, pink cherry blossoms floating down in a cool air pass, something like that, right? You have your cherry blossom and you have cool air, and then that's the atmosphere. That's the atmosphere that you kind of expand upon it in your mind. Poetry brings a lot of different images to a lot of different people for that reason, because it's not always about a specific place, it's about like a specific archetype of a place in a person's memory. I don't main poetry, to use a gaming term. It's not my main, so I understand lessons of poetry, the literative value of it. I'm not that good at writing it. I dabble in like in haiku sometimes, but that's pretty much my extent of poetry. Jarona. Did I say Jarona? What's Jarona? Rant. Annotating poetry can be fun. Yeah, I really do like poetry though. I'm not as good as like enjoying poetry because I think I've talked about this in like one of my earliest video on this channel, is that I have aphantasia, which makes like mental images really difficult for me. So poetry is there's a lot of like mind images. What's it called? Why do I suddenly forget words? My IQ really drops like by 50% when I'm on stream. Flowery from Deltarune. I haven't played Deltarune. Don't spoiler things for me. I need time. God damn it! I'm not okay. I am an unk. I just don't have the time to play all the games, man. My backlog is so full. I'm still trying to play Valkyrie Chronicles, a game that came out like 20 years ago. That's too much cool stuff and I don't have the time. No worries about the small point. I'm a whole generation ahead. Stop making me feel old, guys, please. I am young. I have plushies. I have Digimons. Fuck, Digimon is old. Oh, I am old. I am the guy with the map. The fact that I can even think of the map thing is right. You know what? Embrace your age. That's what I say. Right? Poetry is for all ages. Just as all ages is for poetry. I am being a poet. Poetic. You wanna know the fun thing about Star Trek? I've never watched Star Trek. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of Star Trek. I just absorb the fandom through osmosis. It's like Star Wars and Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica. Never touched them. I just absorbed it through osmosis because people keep talking about it. My sci-fi series was Firefly and the movie Serenity. I started out with Serenity. I was like 12. I don't know how young I was when I started watching it, but I was watching the cannibal eating space movie before I started anything else. Is Star Trek the 500 Cigarette Show? I don't know. I don't know. I know Star Trek is the Ferengi show. That's all I know about Star Trek because I was reading up on the history of the Ferengi because of like for literature analysis. The Ferengi is like have like a racist undertone against Jewish things. So if Caron Scarlet says it's 500 Cigarette Shows, I'm gonna distrust them. Chiron, I'm writing something while watching this and I'm just now realizing I'm having the Toho syndrome where every character is one gender in my own work because most of the characters are like that. Mirror Wars of gacha characters. Oh, yeah, gacha has like 2-to-1 in like gender, like female to male. It took me a while to start writing different genders. Like I think my earlier stories were mostly male centric. I think that's just a skill thing. As you get better as a writer, you will start being able to write more diverse genders. Because like as you are younger, you only interact with certain genders or certain archetypes of certain genders. And as you meet more people, as you grow up, as you understand, become more empathetic, you start writing more genders. So nowadays, my stories are very gender balanced, I think. Even like sexuality wise and everything, it has gotten a lot more balanced, like because I let my character grow by themselves. I kind of write a character and they just take life, and they decide like their what their gender identity is, what their sexuality is. The more I experienced the world, the more diverse it became, and so now I think my reflection of it is quite in line with how the diversity of IRL is. I'm actually quite proud of that. You know, like I can see it when I'm reading some of my old stories and I slowly move up to the modern stuff. For the map part, you could write something like the screenshot or portraits of different characters shining like Christmas ornament and showing their exact location. It's a literal paper map. It's like the map it's like the Marauders map in Harry Potter. So it's not a screen. It is a paper map with like little magic dots of ink walking around, you know. That's how this world works. Fandom punk, that's what we're calling it now, right? So I don't think it needs to be fancy, it needs to work. This is like, to them, this is a communication device. So there'll be a map with a face of the person, bloop, and then there'll be a text bubble, and that's it. It works as a text communicator. We don't really have to like question the function of it that much. This is quite a loose fantasy story. I usually write hard fantasy, which is like fantasy with very, very solid, rock solid rule set. This will be one of the rare occasions where I would write a loose fantasy. I think it's just fine. I have a friend called Laura Morrison who writes these kind of things with like a fantasy story that has looser rules, and her story is completely enjoyable. So you know, it's skills and experience and like how much you are able to bring the world out and hold a suspension of belief, right? I prefer full rules because I like to overthink, but because my IQ is halved on stream, this actually helps me quite a bit. I don't have to think too much about how the things works. And a few weeks ago, while writing a fic, I realized that all my characters were dudes, so I got to make myself feel better. Hang on. Let me try to bring up some of my old books, my old stories. Let's see. Actually, look at. Let me see if I can. Give me a second. I should just bring up the PDF of it. Somewhere on the file. This is great content. People just like to watch a guy ruffle through his folder, and the folder is not even on screen because that's how inept he is at it. Why am I like this? Why am I so... It's right here. I have it open in another... What am I doing? Alright, this is for my second trilogy collection, Three Fates. You can see exactly like where I started having a very balanced cast. Deck of Clover was the time when I really started to push out all my characters, really work on my character work, because it's a class of 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14 main characters plus one more, which is like the protagonist, Pipcap. So this is when I really started feeling like all my characters were very balanced out. We have Lua and her brother, so that's a female, one male, one female. We have number 2. I'm just gonna go through it a little bit. I guess you can just read it a bit here. Ishikara Yagi. I'm gonna name all the characters and see if I can. Joachim Kerr, Nos Un, male. Lua Onita, female. Trini Elquin, female. Fornilla Chantavalika, female. Pempe Burns, male. Sex is a agender but goes by male. Shichi is male. Naya female. Oh man, my IQ just dropped. Who's number 9? Naya Divini. I'm so sorry, I forgot her name. But the number 9 is male. It's another female. And then we have Ishumi Nato, female. We have Jackie Loyat, who's trans. We have Quinton Onita, who's male, and Kingston Hawks, who's male, and Pipcap Cavalier, who is female. So that is like when I really started to, embrace the expansion of all the characters that gender. Oh, all the names are here. Right. Anaya Davini and Shimona Zettai. That's right. Yeah. All the names are here. That's how I remember it. Illuminati, I don't quite like hard fantasy. I feel like they're more difficult for me to relate. How has your experience been with reading my Terra books? Because those are all hard fantasies, right? I think hard fantasy has different levels of it, where the way I write hard fantasy is that the rules must be so natural that you don't question it. But because the rules are, for example, like it's kind of like real world physics, where something happens and it's so natural that you just know that that's what it does. That's how I create the rules. It has to be so naturally working within the world that once explained, that just makes sense. That's hard fantasy. That's my style of hard fantasy. Boka, I pretend I understand everything that's going on. Don't worry, that's just how it's just a writing stream. That's just how it is, I guess. Oh, finally someone who doesn't know hi Yeon. I'm gonna pronounce it Yeon. That plushie is real true from Limbus Company. Everyone is gonna talk about her eventually, I guess. Illumimi, I stopped reading around the bit where Edo finds out about secret compartment in the Titan. So that's book 1, chapter 2-ish? Chapter 1-ish, right? Yeah. Yeah, you got quite a bit to go. That's fine. Feel free to stop reading completely if it's not your thing. I understand why it won't be a thing to everybody. Wait, there's 2 secret compartments, so I don't know which secret compartment you're talking about though. But yeah, I write lots of books, lots of stuff. Short stories, main books, fancy. I want to say crap, but I can't call my stuff crap. Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, okay. I'm going back to the main stream, the main bow. Wait, this is not the main bow. This is AB side. That's not right. It changed. Is this correct? Oh. No, this is still not right. This is still on AB. This is my stream not working. Still not working. God damn it. Give me a second. Technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. We're back. Alright, short story writing. Go. Karen Scarlet, I honestly can't follow this story because the streams are very late for me. Yeah, it's 9 PM here as well. But I get why people can't. It's just the time that I can start streaming, because I live with other people, and most people sleep around this time, so the house gets quiet enough for me to start recording. Otherwise you'll hear like TV in the background and shit. So yeah, I don't know if I will be able to start early, but feel free to, like if you need to go off and sleep, that's completely fine. You can always catch up on the VOD later, T-Addict. My experience with hard fantasy was Mistborn. I hated it. The prose was so dull. It constantly dropped terms that I didn't know. And that Calcia was so annoying to touch fantasy. It's... Yeah, hard fantasy is kind of like hard sci-fi. It really depends on the people writing it. The hard fantasy, like... I think that it's because certain people think of fantasy a certain way. There's this old school way of fantasy writing, which you can see a lot in, like, say, Lord of the Rings. I actually don't like reading Lord of the Rings. I think the book is too... It has that kind of flowery, descriptive language that's closer to poetry, like a very detailed poetry. And whenever they drop terms, they don't properly explain it, which kind of ruins, you know, the pacing of your reading. Yeah, and it's not... I will agree that it's not fun to read some of the older hard fantasy novels. Even hard sci-fi novels, some of the older ones, is really, really difficult. It is a product of their time. We're talking about stories from the past where people have the time, and reading is more of like an event where you read something, you can take time to go back and kind of analyze stuff, to read like glossaries and things. Nowadays, reading is kind of it's closer to television shows. You don't like to be interrupted, so the history of reading has changed the way we write, which is why I'm not a particular fan of reading old stuff, but I like to study old stuff with the context of how they were written back then. Modern hard fantasy and hard fiction, I think some writers are starting to really change now, especially like experimental SFF writers. My friend Marie Howard, she writes sci-fi. She writes sci-fi, and a lot of her she has a couple of like more lore deep stories, and the way she tackles it is that in between each chapter there's this character who will give like a written in-world written article that gives you a lore drop, and you can bring that knowledge into the next chapter. And I think that's like a very modern way of doing it, because in the past these kind of lore drops will be considered bad writing. It's considered like interrupting the flow of the story chapters, but in modern time that's a very savvy way of doing exposition, you know. How long do I stream for? Usually 2 hours. Yep, Lumbi says. I usually end in 11 p.m. my time. Sometimes I go overboard because I rant a lot. I'm like Brennan Lee Mulligan. I go on like rants and shit. Oh, you guys. Hi, Humanitarian Eldritch. Yeah, I think separating a lot of the extensive world building is supplementary is a really good compromise. Yeah, that's why like wikis and stuff is so common in modern fandoms, right? A lot of the laws and stuff that we don't have time to absorb are put into these wikis, which acts as like old school glossaries, but on the internet for us to absorb things. Writing is kind of, for a long time, writing has kind of been a stuck. Sorry, I just burped. For a long time, writing as a craft has kind of been stuck in like the 1990s. It didn't really catch up with the internet because the community of like pro writers kind of looked down on the new age of writers. The fan fiction era, the AO3 fanfiction.net fiction press era of writers. But those era of writers are now the main writers, right? I'm from the era of writers, and the older writers are kind of just publishing pulp fictions and stuff right now. So we are now in like this new age where this new era of online writers are coming coming into the mainstream, into the main writing community, and it's changing the way writing is done, which I'm very happy to see, because like when I started like 10 years ago, while I was like trying to get into the industry, it was really hard because everyone thought like the way I wrote was a bit too experimental. But now I can just do it, and I can do like this. My channel, my video essays is an extension of my writing. My monologues and stuff is an extension of my writing, alongside my fiction stuff. I can do experimental techniques. It's a new age of writing, to be honest. So, it's quite cool too. Yeah. Caron, you're already ready to get. Nah, Caron, you have to sleep at 10. You sleep at 10, man. The video is always on demand. It's always on the VOD. You can like go back and watch it on the live stream tab. You have no. Please don't sacrifice your health for me. Humanitarian outrage. Hopefully, you notice a typo on my website. I have not updated my website in 4 years. If you notice a typo, I don't really feel like doing anything about it. It's just, man, I don't use my website for anything anymore. I keep thinking like, I'm gonna update my website, I'm gonna put my new books on it, it's gonna look dope, and then I look at all the stuff that I can do, I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch like Witch Hat Atelier or something. But nobody has time for that. Websites, man. That's like and I was thinking, oh man, maybe I could hire a web to do something. And then I looked at their pricing. It's like, I don't have the money for that either. So I guess it's just gonna be a website with my name on it, so that I have a website with my name on it. The closest thing I have to a personal website is my damn game joke page. For a long time, the only personal website I had was like my Fiction Press profile. Because I was like refusing to get on social media, even when I was a teenager. I'm like, why do I want to get on social media? Everyone's an asshole. So I didn't have a social media until I was like 20. There's no day to update a website except for tomorrow. That's the best day to start making your life better is tomorrow. And when it comes tomorrow, it will be tomorrow again. That's just how it works. Alright, let's see if I can get myself through to the part where he meets Toru Nagaishi. How do I want to do it? Just walking around? I will need a few paragraphs of like walking around before he bangs into. You know what? Let's chat a bit, see if I can get a couple of ideas on what booths there will be here. Yeah, I think that's good. Chatting helps with coming up with weird ideas, like the map, the tempo map as a communicator. I really enjoyed this. This is really good. And thank you, Karen, for bringing it out, your map stuff. Even though you didn't do it as a as an input, but it still helped. So let's see. I think I once had like 4 nighters in a row, and I managed to sleep from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. the next day, and that's why I never pull all nighters anymore. Wow, 4 nighters. At which night did you start hallucinating? How many TCG stores in the story? Oh my god, TCG stores. They should put it, should do something with it. Because that's very punk thing to do, right? The way how TCG is like now destroying convention communities by completely taking over the main convention booths. Yeah. You see a row of trading card booths that have taken up the majority of the outside court. What? I'm gonna rank this as a little dick to those people. The problem is, like, not all trading card boobs are bad, because like we have like Coop and Beard Dad who does like really good trading card boobs, but so many of them are so freaking toxic. Yeah. Oh, Karen, you're going off. Okay, if you're going off, then please have a good night. Sleep well. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. Where was I? Oh, trading card boobs. Trading card boobs are... It's not all toxic, but okay, for example, like in Singapore, right? I talked about it last time. I went to a convention with my friend at Game Fest, and it was like 90% of the booths were trading card booths, and only like 2 booths were art booths, which really pissed me off. They have the money to do it, which is kind of annoying. Because this convention that I'm writing about is something more indie. I want there to be more art, but I do want to put a little dig at the exponential increase in trading card booths. Something small, like taking out the majority of the card, because they are all set in the sunlight with minimum shelter. It's kind of ruining the pacing. Oh, I hit the camera again. I'm sorry, real true. It's kind of ruining the pacing. My spite is ruining the pacing. That's not good. I need to kill it. All right, I'll kill it, and if I find a good time to add a dig edit, I will do it later. But the fact that I'm too concentrated on this is a bad thing, I think. How else would the organizers afford their yearly trip to Japan? I have no idea. Like, I honestly, right, I think this is like, I think there is a TCG underground here in Singapore. I'm actually legit trying to investigate this for my channel, but it's kind of really well hidden, and I don't know how much time I want to invest into this, because like it's so, I don't know, I don't want to say harmless, but it's just terrible people doing terrible things that's kind of overtaking the community, but it's not in the way that makes it good enough for my I don't want to say good enough for my channel, because I try to, man, I don't know how to explain this, but there's this weird TCG mafia thing going on in Singapore, where they're like buying up convention booths and things, and they are straight up buying conventions. It's weird. I don't have enough time to look into it in my life, so it's just one of those things that it's just one of the many stories that are in my back pocket. I have like 50 plus stories over the past 4 years where on my channel where I just didn't have the time to cover. I have to be very selective about what scams and grips I look into, just because of how much time it takes to research them. But yes, alright, let's go. Smiling gently, the organizer gestured you into the convention alongside the next dozen people, and you walked in with the nod. What's the first thing we see? Because I'm basing this convention area off my old community center, it's 3 buildings and a court. So the first thing you'll see is the open court. What are the booths that will be on the open court? And you will have things that doesn't get damaged by sunlight. So no digital stuff. We'll be looking at no prints. So we're looking at animal pins. We're looking at acrylic stuff, toys. Yeah. So those are the booths that we're thinking of. So you're immediately greeted by 2 rows of sheltered booths. Let's not have it be like normal sheltered booths. what are those things called? The carts with that you push and then you open up in the store. There's a name for it. Livestream Aiden, low IQ. I want to do those cards. Rules of cards. I'm gonna Google it. I don't use Google anymore, but I'm gonna Google it without Google. Cards. Not cards. It's not just cards, right? Cards selling. Card boo. Push cards. Yes, push cards. Cool. Yeah. See. Who needs Google when you have other stuff? Oh, I accidentally paused it. You're greeted by rows of push cards. It's about 4 dozen in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 dozen in total. In total, creating 4 rows. 4 rows. I already used rows as a description for columns. Nope, that's not right. My IQ is so bad on stream. Columns built with pins and toys. What else? I want to do a this and that. Pins and toys. What else will be in open? Pins and toys. Costumes. Costume rental costumes and photo booths. Photo stands. Okay, that's actually not bad, right? A photo stand will allow us to explore. Okay, immediately we're gonna go to the rental costume area. So someone has paid a you watch as a child with a rented costume. That's a cool, with a rented angel costume. You walked to the pay to gain superpowers temporarily. Pay to be superpowered. Child with a rented angel costume walked up to the photo booth. A photo booth. A cloud team photo booth. That's a bit descriptive thing. Photo book. Wow. My IQ is dropping as we speak. People bring children to conventions. More and more these days, you know. I think it's great. Not like babies, but I think like 9-10-year-olds. I'm seeing more of them at conventions. I think it's good as long as they like behave themselves. And I feel like a lot of the parents of people who bring kids to conventions are pretty good at controlling raising like socially awkward kids. Nerds raising nerds, basically. The last real convention I went to, there were a lot of like kids like running around trying to find like the Totoro cosplayers. That was fun. The child with a rental agent account walked up to a cloud team photo booth after receiving some instruction from. That's not how you spell instruction. Photographer. They got up. The kid stood on the platform with a little #fanpower. Is this cringe? I don't know if that's cringe anymore. I think #fanpower is funny, but it might be cringe. in the not funny way. I'm just gonna keep it for now. To beat. The wings started to beat and lifted them. Oh, I think my mic just cut off a little bit. Testing. Okay, mic's still working. Them off the ground for a few seconds, allowing a picture to be snapped. Yay! We have another paragraph of descriptions of how this convention in this world works. Yeah. Maybe you can replace it with something else later. Yeah. But to be honest, it's personally growing on me. This might have to become a thing where the readers just have to suck it up and accept my uncle cringe, my unk level cringe. Yeah. All right. Let's read it back. See you go. All right. You're greeted by rows of push carts, about 2 dozen in total, creating 4 columns filled with pins and toys, rental costumes, and photo stands. A child with a rented angel costume walked up to a cloud-themed photo booth. After receiving some instruction from the photographer, the kid stood on the platform, and with a little #fanpower, the wings started to beat and lifted them off the ground for a few seconds, allowing a picture to be snapped. Enough for a picture to be snapped. Yay, that makes sense. That's cool. Yeah, Dick, I was gone for a while and I get greeted with a #fanpower. Yeah. Do you think if I get enough fans, I get powerful as well? I'll be honest, I'm having a lot of fun developing this fandom punk world. How everything works is quite it's unique enough for me. I'm enjoying it enough that like just developing it alongside the stream with you guys. It's quite cool, to be honest. I can see why nobody has ever done a writing stream before. It's really weird. But I also cannot see why nobody has ever done a writing stream before, because this was kind of fun. Like Pennywise, but instead of fear, you get power from love. Yeah, you get power from the more autistic, hyper focused you are, the more power you get. Yeah, I want to at the end of this, it is still a punk story. So once we have like sufficiently explored the area, I will be putting in like there will be a climax, action scene type of climax. I am gonna leave it on a cliffhanger. That's the current plan anyway. I won't reveal too much. We'll explore as we go, because I find that we've shifted the path every time we started the stream to write it just slightly. So the story might go somewhere else, but that's pretty much how I write a story. I have a point A and point B, and then how we get there is gonna be a question for while we are writing. Yeah, that's pretty much how I do things. Alright, so we have where have we been? From here to here. That's 200 words, and that's pretty good progress for this session of stream. Yeah. I saw a VTuber doing a writing stream a few days ago too. I only visited for a few seconds, but I saw her outlining the plot. Oh, really? That's cool. Which VTuber is that? I don't watch as much streams on Twitch as I think I want to or good for like my so-called work. I watch my friends stream and a couple of like old-timey Twitch streamers stream. That's about it. Because Twitch has this bug, not a bug, but it's forcing me to get their Twitch app for my phone in order for me to follow new people on my computer, And that's kind of pissing me off. So I can't follow new people on my PC because I don't have it on my phone. And I'm like, why is this even a thing, right? I'm kind of refusing to get the Twitch app on my phone because of this. If I ever like stream on Twitch, I think I will be forced to do it. But it's so annoying. T-Addict, I feel like collaborative haiku writing with chat might be fun. Kind of like in Japan where the first 575 will be written by a writer and the next 77 will be written by chat. Oh, that's interesting. My haikus aren't fantastic. I think it will be fun to do. I might do it a little bit. We'll try it later on, alright? Towards the end of the stream. I mean, we are towards the end of the stream. I want to get another like paragraph in before the end of this, before I wind down the stream. And then we can try like a haiku. So, actually, let me just reread. Let me just reread what I wrote so I see how much I can. As the bouncer walks away, you took a look at the name tag with the man. You stand shifting on your feet, slowly doing a little imperceptible dance. You exchange glances with the organizer while you wait for the convention to ease up the numbers to allow you entry. A few minutes later, the organizers pulls out a paper map. You glance over and see little character icons moving live on the parchment. I have the word now. You recognize it from Temple of Skulls, where the characters uses the magic map to communicate with others on it. Let's make this a video game. So it's like, no, that's fine. Actually, don't have to. The characters uses the magic map to communicate with others. The icon with the name Thomas Messier pops out a speech bubble that says, "Let the next group in, boss." Okay, smiling gently, the organizer gestured you into the convention alongside. Alright, seems okay so far. I think we can... Do we want to call it here? Well, at least the writing part so we can try out the haiku poetry thing. I feel... I want a little bit more. Because, okay, so here's the thing. If I was at a convention, right, I would go through everything roll by roll. But for story's sake, I don't want to go through roll by roll. Which means I need a reason for character to not go through this open. Okay, let me just write the... You considered starting your convention exploration in the outside court. But you were never a big fan of heat and the afternoon sun. Wow, cooled by a nice breeze was still daunting for you to consider. Decided to check out the indoor booths, the indoor areas first. Leave the outside for twilight. Yay! Oh no, don't put exclamation mark, no. That's a me thing, it's not a writing thing. Alright, okay. That's good. 1,125 words. I guess that, so maybe like 1,010 words. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Alright. Should we do a haiku? Should we try to do a haiku just for fun? While either my brain is processing the next part of the story and as a little treat. So haiku, for those who don't know, is traditional Japanese poetry. It has a mnemonic. No, it's like a it's based on a 575 pattern, right? So it's 5-syllable pattern. So in Japan it'll be something like, let me see. I'm going on the Wikipedia and they have one here. Okay, so it'll be something like Furu Ike Ya, so that's 5. Kawazu Tobikomu, which is 7, and then we have Mizuno Oto, which is another 5. So it's by syllable. In English, however, trying to keep the syllable is different because each character has like sometimes longer meaning than a single English word, or English words are longer than that. So English haikus are often a lot more hyper focused on descriptive on verbs and things like that. Not verbs, adjectives. So sorry, I need to get a drink. Give me a second. I have now drank. So English, there are a few like rules to writing a haiku. There's a like a seasonal thing to a haiku. Like, okay, I'm considered a noob to like haiku, so if I'm wrong anytime, please correct me. So there's a seasonal thing to haikus. Like your haiku needs to mention a season for it to be like a traditional haiku. 575. Let's see. Let me think about this for a bit. Usually the season is in the second verse. So you have like your 5, and then in the second you have like something like a weather. So you can mention things like thunder. It doesn't have to be like directly about weather. It can be a kind of reference to weather. So say I have a haiku about, say, cooking, right? Let me try something. This is just gonna be random. Eggs flip hastily. That's 5. Pan seared with bubbling oil. Pan seared with bubbling oil. Cast pan seared with bubbling oil. Okay, so the seared is my seasonal mention. It is summer for this. And then I can finish it with a 5. That's my example of a haiku. This might have been a terrible idea. This is a severe skill issue attempt at a haiku, right? I watch a YouTuber called Rachel Oates. She does like literature analysis and poem analysis, which is very, very interesting for me to like listen to. But I will admit that a lot of the times I kind of just listen to it as if it's like a layman listening to like a neuroscientist or a rocket scientist talk about their job and just going like like a Sokka in Avatar doing the haiku stuff. Like, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. But I think it's really cool that you get it. Let's make a haiku anyway. All right, cool. Give me a topic. Let's have a topic that is fun. Seasonal second verse. Okay. So these are the rules. Second verse. You give me a topic. I'll write the verse, and then I guess, no, you give me a topic and I write something, and then you write something, and then I finish it. Okay, that sounds good. So a topic. What's a topic? What season should we do? Let's do. It's hard for me to decide on the season because I live in Singapore, and Singapore we only have 2 seasons, which is hot and hotter. So let's do spring. Spring is good. Spring is good. Okay, we're doing spring. What's the thing we can do in spring? A spring event. Man, what's a spring? Who knows? You know what? That's cool. Let's do a spring. You know, like those toy spring that the colorful toy spring that you can like twist around and turn. Yeah. Don't have to be flowers. We can do like something interesting, right? The toy spring is cool. What? How do I write this? 5. Spring tumbles. Slinkies. Yes, slinkies. I don't want to say slinkies. Spring tumbles. I already have an idea for the second verse, which is using the spring of the slinkies. So plastic rainbows, waterfall. No. Plastic waterfall. Falls. Waters rushing though. Is the apostrophe S 5 syllables? Waters rushing though. Mangoes. 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 Mangoes by. What am I doing? Mangoes. Mangoes. Okay, wait. Alright, slinkies. Plastic waterfall. Because that's my image of a slinky, right? It's a plastic toy that when you twist around it dances down like a waterfall. Plastic waterfall. Rainbow springs spiral. Rainbow springs spiral. I want another S term to alliterate with it. Rainbow springs spiral. Circle. Nope, that's not an S. Rainbow springs spirals. Brain function ceasing. Loading. Spirals. Is there? Maybe I can just open. Yes. Spiral twist curves. Twist. Nah, maybe I shouldn't keep to the alliteration. Rainbow springs spirals over. That makes sense. Plastic waterfall. Rainbow springs spiral over. So we have like this image of a spring kind of like jumping and spiraling over like a waterfall. And now I want to add in hands. Hands, jazz hands kind of it, right? So that we can have an image of the hands controlling the spiral spring waterfall. Do you guys want to write that? Do I write that? Plastic waterfall. Plastic waterfall 5. Rainbow springs spiral over 7. Flowing down the stairs. Flowing down the stairs. Oh, because the slinkies does it? Slowing down the stairs, huh? Slowing down the stairs, because when we play with Slinkies, it flows down the stairs. We like to throw it down the stairs and go. This is actually not bad. How would we rate this? Plastic waterfall, rainbow springs spiral over, flowing down the stairs. All right, I need to sit and have the composure of like a traditional Japanese wanderer, like in Ghost of Tsushima, and read this. Plastic waterfall, rainbow springs spiral over, flowing down the stairs. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. Right? You have an image of a Slinky going down the stairs with this. That's really not bad. With my incredibly noob status of writing haikus, I will rate it. Yeah, they rated 5 out of 7 out of 5. I'll rate it 7 out of 10. Guess. Oh, newcomer, hi, Sunset Eclipse. Yes, that's a real true plush. Yes. Channel mascot is here. We're writing haikus. Taking a break from the main short stories to try to write a haiku with chat. This is not bad. I actually kind of like this. I want to credit this to people. Let's see. T-Edit gave some stuff. Credit to T-Edit. T-Edit number 4. Is the number 4 important? I think so. I think Illuminubi gave me some ideas for the rainbow spirals as well. Illuminubi. Did anyone else? Did Boca give? Boca gave mangoes. We didn't really use mangoes. I'm so sorry, Boca. Yeah, where is Kiwami, right? What genre of the short story I'm writing? It's fandom punk. We're writing fandom punk, right? It's, a world where magic is powered by the fandoms of where magic is powered by your fan power, hashtag fan power. Sorry, Boca, for not having credit for you, but thanks for joining us on the adventure. Mangoes is really funny though. Co-credit, that's right, co-credit. I will post this on my Blue Sky, I guess, just so that people will see it somewhere. This is cool. Man, I'm really enjoying this. This is quite nice. All right. Yeah, so if you help with any of the writings while we're going on, you will get credit for it when it's out on my Patreon. I guess the poems, if we do more poems, well, I'll put it on Blue Sky with credit as well, you know. Sunset Eclipse, your story are too, but it's a long-term story. Yep, that's good. Keep it up because it takes a lot of time. It's a dedicated craft. This would be how many short stories have I written actually? I think like 2 dozen so far. Right. I am still quite I'm still quite surprised by how this haiku turned out. It's very nice. I keep rereading it. It's quite fun. Let's give it a title. Let's give it a title. Haikus and titles. What's the title? Slinky. It has that Slinky in it, right? Let's just call it Slinky, right? Slinky, yeah. A haiku of Slinky. Oh, that's good. It's so modern. I think if any Japanese writers watching this, they might have a stroke and send assassins after me. Colorful spring. Colorful spring? Rainbow spring. If I use colorful spring, it will go over 7 verses. I use rainbow because it's like only 2 syllable. If there is a 1 syllable, I can add more stuff, you know. That's the thing with haikus. You really need to add in as much details in each word as possible. Waterfall is, I think, a good way to describe because it gives you like the action that is being taken and an image at the same time, right? Spring will be both the seasonal affection plus a physical description of what this thing is. Spiral might be overkill. But I think spiral is fine. It does sound nice with the spiral, right? Spring spiral. It gives it like a momentum. And over gives you like that humpy look of a Slinky. Need some help? We're just trying out, seeing how it feels like to write a haiku on stream. And we're writing about Slinky in spring. So far we have this, which I'm kind of liking it, to be honest. I kind of want to keep springs because it's like a play on the Slinky being in the shape of a spring as well. So it's a double descriptive. It has the youth of spring, like the image of kids playing in spring, but also of an actual spring, right? So I kind of want to keep that. Rainbow is the one that I'm actually kind of on the fence about, because it's the color of like the Slinky. Rainbow is the color of the Slinky, but I feel like it's doing double work with spring, because rainbow is also a seasonal thing, and it might be confused with autumn, because rainbow is comes usually after rain. So if there is if there's a synonym for something colorful that is only 2 syllable, that would be great. Yeah, right? Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking of so far within rainbow. Sunset eclipse. Yeah, you remember that from one of your classes. Yeah. Right. Haikus are always very fun to explore because it really it pushes your boundaries with your command of language and descriptors. What about vibrant? Vibrant is actually pretty good. Vibrant is pretty good. Vibrant springs spiral over. You have a double description, like a quadruple description, because waterfall, now you have vibrant. It feels like it's both a Slinky and an actual waterfall with fresh watercolor. But Theodic says, you feel like the rainbow makes sense since we're already playing with the motif of water with the word like flowing, waterfall, and spring. Yeah, which is why I think vibrant also could work, because vibrant is something you use for a spring as well, right? Flowing down the stairs. I like it. I think we can keep this, because flowing down the stairs, you can have all these images of like nature, and then suddenly you have this image of stairs, like you kind of juxtapose, like have a crossfade between natures and this toy wonder world. Plastic waterfall. Plastic. Do you want plastic? Plastic doesn't feel very natural. Lambert might be better. But Lambert is a very, very obscure dig. Right? Lambert is Lambert is a is a unit of illumination, right? So we use Lambert in 3D modeling for a kind of like texture that is, it's kind of like a flat illuminated texture, which is really obscure, but it is very close to plastic. It has that feel of plastic, but it doesn't sound plastic. So if you know what a Lambert is, it makes a better image. Nylon is too it's also too artificial. I want it to go from like natural, then bam, it has this like artificial stairs. This is a good, I think this is really good ending. I think this works really well now. Lambert and waterfall. Because I don't want plastic, and plastic is too, it doesn't feel naturally. Lambert is very obscure, but it's a source of illumination, right? Sunset, for reading each word reminds me of a single word of purity because vibrant and stuff. Yes, like everything feels purely nature kind of thing. I feel like haikus benefit from simplicity. Using the word Lambert just feels like overcomplicated. Yeah, that's also like a thought that I have, that Lambert is way too obscure, right? So we need something that draws on the image of a plastic or matte, but without using plastic or matte. What's a related word? That is definitely not correct. Let's see. Forming a cable. Let's see if we can just look at dictionaries. Are always helpful. I have my small little tiny dictionary here, but it doesn't work well on stream. Let's credit cards. Nope. Matte. Non-glossy. Glossy waterfall? A glossy waterfall. Man, this is actually a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. Once we got past the hum of actually writing it. The glossy waterfall doesn't sound like it, so... Man, what's a good... Unnatural. What would you find plastic in nature? Matte little. Would matte little work? It's one syllable too many, right? And it also sounds like a person's name. I really want to keep waterfall because it's a really good it's really good for the theme of it. Mangoes waterfall. Now I'm just thinking of the mangoes. Real Shu, if you know all outcome, why don't you tell me what I should use? Sangria. Sen. Plastic is made of... No, that's glass. What is plastic made of? Plastic cannot just be made from like... Plastics, primarily of polymers. Petroleum, oh my god. That doesn't sound nice either. Move small doesn't really sound good. You want a... I'm looking for like a singular word that can describe the texture of plastic without making it sound so man-made. Wow, this is really hard. This is so much harder than I thought it would be. Petroleum waterfall? No. Hard oil? Hard oil. That sounds like a sex thing. Hard oil. Hard oil. Glossy. Glossy is good. Because glossy is plasticky, but it doesn't have the... But it doesn't have that connotation as well. Expose? Let's see, we get something. Gilded. Gilded waterfall. That's very nice. But gilded. Glossy? Gilded? Gilded sounds nicer than that. So here's a thing, right? That just a little sidetrack is that words evolve with time. So before the age of plastic, glossy referred more to like your skin, like the shine of like say lipstick gloss, that kind of stuff, things you apply on a natural surface. It'll be like resin, those kind of coating for wood. That's where you use glossy. But because technology advanced, glossy now has this connotation sided with plastic. So if I wrote this haiku like say 40 years ago, right? Glossy waterfall, no, not even 40, maybe like 50, 60 years ago, glossy waterfall would have a very natural sound. But because we're writing it in modern era, glossy is like, it's very associated with plastic now. We have like glossy, like a lamination, glossy, a glossy car, you know, the kind of car cover, which makes it less natural sounding. So this is kind of like one of those interesting things with language, is that over time, as it changes and evolves, the way we enjoy a piece of art requires chronological context, when it comes from. So I don't think glossy will work as well in today's context, because glossy is this past image of it. But it would work in like 60, 70 years ago. In 60, 70 years ago, glossy waterfall would give you a stronger image of like that like of an actual waterfall with a certain texture. Gilded is kind of like the opposite of glossy in this sense. Gilded used to be more what's it called, in reference to expensive architectures, right? It has like this image of the Gilded Age, the high class American in their post-war boom, having like fancy cocktail dresses and dinners and stuff like that, right? But in modern times, or at least like in certain fandoms, online fandoms of stuff, Gilded is actually more natural. I want you to think of like anime, or like gacha anime games, like what's that called? Honkai Impact, and then we have what? Genshin Impact, right? Like Genshin Impact, right? When you think of Gilded, you're thinking of a rich, vibrant kind of like community, but set in a natural, a nature-filled background. So this is something that has changed over time. Like the way we see certain words has changed by our context in which we have learned to read them. So glossy versus gilded waterfall. Glossy versus gilded waterfall. Luster, polish, gleaming, illuminated. Luster, polish, gleaming. Okay, we have a couple of good ones. Glossy, gilded. I think gleaming is simple. and has a pretty good thing. Yeah, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but glossy doesn't feel necessarily more plastic, more just a word for something shining that could also describe plastic, while gilded doesn't feel plastic. Those are all good points because it really depends on like the cultural context of it, right? When Illumini hears gilded, you think of gold, right? But when I hear gilded, I think of anime gilded, because I've never seen like the kind of Western kind of gilded in my life. I'm very chronically online anime, so for my gilded, I'm thinking of like anime mangas, their version of what Western would look like, and it's always like filled with nature and things like that. So things have a different. So gilded might actually be good, because now that I think about it, not everyone is as chronically online as I am. Glossy, I think glossy has too much connotation with plastic in the modern age. A little bit more when you're working in like, say, media field like myself. Glossy is always very plastic for us. I think that's just a media thing. Like the more you work in media, the more glossy just feels fake. So I'm gonna cross out glossy. But from glossy we got gilded, which I think for normal people might be too much as well. So probably not good. Gleaming might be where we are landing up on. Gleaming waterfall. Tea Addict likes polished. Polished waterfall. It's also not bad, right? Because you can have polished stones. You can have like polished natural stuff. Man, we spent half an hour on this haiku. Good job, haiku. Fancy fun things. This is good. This is good. Right. Polished waterfall, vibrant spring spiral over, flowing down the stairs. With a title of Slinky, they give you image. This is good. Okay. Polish is good. Polish is good. You are right, the edit. Polish is good. Thank you, Luminubi, for suggesting polished. Polished waterfall, vibrant spring spiral over, flowing down the stairs. Okay, we have it. Okay, good. I will post this on my blue sky. Let's go this. I'm gonna do this now. Hang on. But yeah, let's wind down the stream. I'm not gonna show my blue sky stuff. Lumley, are you trying to do a sangria? That's not how sangria works. Don't make me go on my sangria rant again. Oh, I sound like Araya. That's what I sound like now. God. That's that's what I sound like. God damn it. Alright, okay. Slinky, a haiku. Co-credit Tea Addict 4 and Illuminubi. Written on my live stream. Polished waterfall, vibrant spring spiral over, flowing down the stairs. And post. Okay, I'm lagging. Okay, I posted. Yay! Oh, I should have tagged you, Illuminubi. You have a blue sky. I forgot to tag you. I just wrote the name. I'm sorry. I'll do it next time. Blue Sky doesn't let me edit the post. Please feel free to comment with who you are if you want to. Alright, okay. Alright, let's wind down this semi-disaster of a live stream for now. Illumi, you barely use Blue Sky. Yeah, I saw you come on just like mass click on all my stuff, which is thank you for that. But yeah, Blue Sky is where I am now because I really like microblogging, and I need somewhere to get my addiction fixed, you know. Have I heard about the Kanto 10 delay? Yes, I have. I have thoughts. All right, end of the stream. Let's talk about Limbus Company. I have thoughts about the Kanto 10 delay. I'm very happy that they delayed it. I'm very happy why they delayed it. I'm happy that they are not going to force more crunch on developers, because like currently the game development industry is going through hell, and PM seems to really actually still care about their developers enough to not murder them for this. Also, but the way KJH handled it, not great. I liked it because he did it on like the stream, but yeah, we all know like all those weird gacha players from like China always do all the weird stuff, right? So yeah, that's my thought about Kanto 10 delay. Generally happy. I think Chinese gamers are really toxic. I apologize on behalf of Chinese people. Yeah. You wouldn't have mind if they released Kanto 10 without voice. I waited for them to be done, but I just didn't want to be spoiled. Oh, I think that's hard because Project Moon has been working on quality over quantity, and to reduce on quality and quantity at the same time might be a bit too much for the fan base. I don't really care. I just want good games, so they could take as long as they want, but that's a me thing, you know. A lot of people aren't that patient. Let's just be honest with it. The poll ended with 93% of voters picking the delay. Yeah, that would be good. That's good, right? The problem is like it's not the diehard fans who go for the stream, or the people like me who really just like the story and stuff. The problem is the people who like the game enough to complain about it, but not enough to care about it. And that is the toxic majority of gamers, right? I wouldn't say majority, but that is like a toxic chunk of gamers, which it always sucks for like for any community. But anyway, yeah, streams winding down. We are at 1,000 something words right now. How many? We are at 1,107 words, so about half the way through this short story, or my planned length for the short story. Pretty happy with what we did today. Pretty happy with a lot of the world building. The world building is coming out really nicely, so I'm happy. I don't know why. I don't know how. It's this happiness feeling inside me. It feels weird to be having it. Limbus RPG like leak. I have seen it. I have no comment on it. I'm not sure if that RPG was like made by Project Moon, because I saw another leak by like a indie developer who says they are coming up with an original game, but it's clearly obviously just Limbus company. Drama stuff, online drama. You tried doing a word vomit a few days ago since you were having trouble getting writing ideas. It came out to 2.6k words before I was interrupted. I've talked about this before, in that it's getting harder for me to do word vomits, right? I think I've gotten to the stage where I have kind of sacrificed my quantity for quality. This was something that let me show you from my AB site. So while I was writing the new chapters for my books, right, I realized that I slowed down a lot. Like in the past, intro paragraph like this would take me a couple of minutes max. This took me like 10 minutes to write, because I started going back through to like add in more description of the place, to get as much details as I can into as little as I could. I started to focus a lot more on pacing, and I don't know if that's good or bad, because all these stuff are things that you can technically do in the edit, but doing it now also kind of like feels better as a writer. So we'll have to see this, right? Because cleaning stuff up is technically the point of editing process, but you know, life has changed. I've grown as in my writing life. I've grown in my skill sets, and for better or worse, I guess we'll have to see it coming. I guess we'll see it when we finish this short story and how well it feels to actually read it. But I will be ending the stream now, just so that I don't keep dragging this out. It always feels weird when I drag out the stream, to be honest, because I'm like looking at my views slowly going lower, and I'm like, oh, I should end it, but I keep talking. I'm still doing it now. But thank you for watching. I will see you next. Wait. A channel update. Channel update. Video is going to be slightly delayed. I think I can't in good conscience make a story on such a big topic that I'm aiming for in the time that I usually release videos. I understand now why a lot of video essayists, when they start like getting into the pace of thing and they start doing bigger videos, they start delaying videos, because holy shit, there's a lot to do. It is so much. I am kind of planning to transition to a video release when I'm done kind of thing, but I a bit hesitant, because when I don't have a schedule, I have a bad habit of procrastinating, and I don't want to do that. So for now, I am still working on that video. It's still coming along a decent pace. It's not at a I will never release it kind of pace. It's more like a probably end of August pace. But yeah, that's it. Channel update. And let me try this again. Thank you for watching. My name is Aiden, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.